Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. How are you? What's happening? How's everybody doing today? It's Monday. It's that day again where we get together, we chat about some topics, and then we jump into meditation. And yes, I am back in my green office in Cloverdale. So drove down this morning and bright and early, was watching the sunrise as I drove down to the mountains, and it was quite beautiful. So today's kind of one of those days where, well, it's Monday. And but you get into that flow. And when I was thinking about my drive today, what inspired today's topic was actually this morning when I was beginning my drive. When I was starting out, I was leaving the mountains, and usually I pop on, I got my podcast going, or I've got my or music, or just like a book going. Oh my god, I just realized that. Yes, guys, I have not looked in the mirror, and my hair is like quite really, there we go. Oh, I don't think it's getting any better today, but that's okay. It's just hair. Yes, this is 5 a.m. hair, which you guys all get to share. And oh yeah, my office, it's freezing down here. Somebody turned on the air conditioning. It was way too cold, so I had to throw on an extra sweater. I was almost a little late getting started because of that. But when I was getting on my drive and I was kind of sitting back, and I didn't put on a book, I didn't put on music, I didn't put on a podcast, and so I sat back, and I heard this little voice in my head. It was like, you need some silence. It's time to spend some time in silence. And it kind of surprised me a little bit. I'm like, silence? Why do I need silence? Like, what's going on with this? And it was just like silence away from everything. And when when you're driving, you can get silence away from everything except for the traffic around you and things like that. But it was just silence. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen to my inner voice. And it was really quiet for a little while. I was just like, oh no, what's going on? Like, okay, I'm here. And I wanted to twiddle my thumbs, and then I wanted to sing a little bit and totally distract the silence. And I realized that that was not the purpose of the message that I got for how I was supposed to spend most of my drive, but was in silence and allowing myself just to notice what I noticed. So of course I reset myself and take a couple deep breaths and get on my drive. And then I noticed something really funny happening, is that this sense of being aware of my body position while I was driving. I thought, okay, so yeah, I'm leaning, I'm twisting, I'm, not really sitting in a proper comfortable position. And this image came to my mind that, last time I sat like this, when I drove that 4.5 hours, that I was in a lot of discomfort when I finished that drive and for the rest of the day. So I kept, I was like, oh, okay. So adjusted my body, got my body in the right position, sat up, kind of adjusted my seat a little bit to be more comfortable, more suitable for, your lumbar and stuff like that for a long drive. And I heard this message. That was what the silence was for. And I thought, normally I'm expecting to go into silence or to have silence, and there would be this amazing, profound moment of something wonderful, crazy happening. And no, it was just all about being aware of my body and being aware of the position that I was putting my body in, or I was about to put my body in, so that I could be out of that line of discomfort, so that I wouldn't get to the end of this drive and be like, oh my God, I can't move, my back's sore, my legs hurt, I'm cramped. And so it kind of sparked this topic of being self-aware. We think about that self-awareness is how we deep dive into our subconscious mind, and we get into things and deep, whether it's the shadow of the soul, or the emotions, the feels that we're feeling, or if it's a past life, or we're getting into that space where we're going to begin to hold space to heal those primary shadows and wounds, and those generational wounds and shadows. But sometimes it's just about taking a moment of silence to be aware of your physical body and what your physical body needs in the moment, so that you don't get to a point where you are going to be uncomfortable for a day or two, or you throw your back out, or you twist, or you pull a muscle, and just stepping back and having a pause where you can just go, oh, wait a minute. If I continue down this road, I have experienced this outcome before. But if I take this moment to adjust, I can change the outcome. That's a lot of inner self-power. It's a lot of self-awareness. Because as we become, our physical bodies, they're tangible, right? Our emotions, we feel them. Our soul energy, we are becoming more aware of it and more in tune with it. But sometimes these great awakenings happen when we allow ourselves to kind of get into that space and notice what we notice. And maybe it starts with our physical body that then leads to our emotional self, and our emotional self leads to that soul journey, and so on. But if we can take the time to allow ourselves to really connect here and there with just what's happening in that moment, that allows us to work through a possible outcome and change that outcome. What happens is me changing my body position. Yes, it makes my body feel better for the rest of the day. So I was able to come straight to the office and start working and not think about the fact that I drove 4.5 hours or feel any discomfort from that drive. But that outcome then, when I put that into practice, stepping back and just checking in, then it gives me a more confident flow of checking in with my emotions. Okay, so now that my body is aligned and I'm feeling okay, what do I need emotionally? Now, I didn't do that in my car ride, but this train of thought happened after I adjusted my body and I straightened up, and I knew that I was in a position that I can maintain fairly easily for the next 4.5 hours. But then I was thinking about it. I'm like, how often do we check in with how we're feeling right now? And doing that also allows us to go, okay, this is what I'm feeling right now. Okay, what do I need to feel differently? Or how can I continue to feel this way so that we can set up the following moments to come that are in that space where we want to be, or perhaps taking a time to shift the space where we're at. And the more we can practice these little moments, and you start where your awareness goes, where you find your attention flowing, start there, and let that be that practice for the day. Okay, today I noticed that I was hunching my shoulders, so I straightened up my shoulders. Every hour I set an alarm and just kind of opened up my diaphragm, opened up my sternum, and just pulled my shoulders back and let my breath, took a couple deep breaths. And as you practice that, all of a sudden your body posture begins to improve itself. Okay, so now you've mastered helping your body position improve itself by being self-aware of where your body position was, where you want it to be, and then taking the practice of making it become that way. And utilizing that every day, or when you think of it, or having little tools and tricks that help remind you, oh yeah, check in here. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I mean, that is one way to begin the process of opening up the parts of you that are very self-aware, that understand and know how to create positive outcomes, and to feel more confident that you can create change, that you are creating change, that change is being created by you, for you. Yeah, if I change, I'm nonstop crying. Okay, that happens though. And that's okay, because crying is releasing, and tears, is your body's way of shedding and letting go of what you're holding on to, what might be, abundantly ready to come out. But, if we don't check in every once in a while, and if that is something that becomes, a constant thing, if you're checking in with your emotions and you feel like you're, you get to that space where it's, you're constantly having the same outcome, or you're tapping in, then when you tap into your emotions, one way, setting an intention is another really great way to kind of check in, be like, hey, I'd like to check in with how I'm feeling right now and how I'm feeling, and I ask my higher self, what is it that I need to feel differently in this moment? How can I help myself feel less? And then you kind of name the feeling or the feelings, or one word to describe everything you're feeling, and just kind of close your eyes, and you will begin to get sensations and answers and information of, okay, so if I just take a moment, or if I, get to my journal, or if I have my little voice recorder, because I have a voice recorder that really is my best friend when it comes to spilling my emotions. When I'm really intensely feeling something, I talk it out with to my voice recorder, because sometimes that's what I need to do. So I find my outlet. And if I don't have my voice recorder and I'm driving or I'm doing something, then I just kind of find a song. I ask Siri to play a song and I kind of sing it out, because, you can't voice record and drive at the same time, or you're not supposed to, according to our laws. So sometimes I have to jam it out, or just make a mental note. You know what? I know that I'm feeling this right now. I can't actually address this right now. And I kind of make this compromise with my subconscious mind. I would like to feel less of this in this moment, but I promise in the future, at a future date, I will step back into this and process through this. And that can also be another way. It's a tool that I often use, compromising with the parts of the subconscious mind when working with people. If we get more than one part that is doing the same job, then I ask and we're running out of time, I ask the part that's come forward, the new part that's come forward, if it's willing to put its job on pause until, we connect again in our next session. And most times that part will decrease its intensity for the time being. And sometimes I have to set a date with that, part. And usually I already know the future date of a session, but, okay, in 2 weeks, I'm going to see so-and-so again. Can you just, decrease your level of intensity during these next 2 weeks so that when we speak again, we can then go into the journey of creating healing. And sometimes doing that too, it's not meant to create a space of avoidance, but it is meant to hopefully help you in that moment. If you're checking in with yourself and it feels very overwhelming, very intense, and there's a lot happening, to give you a bit of reprieve so that you can breathe again, so that you can make that time when you are ready, when you have time, to dive into what it is that you're feeling, or whether that be emotionally, mentally, physically, or spiritually. Those are some little tools that, as we become self-aware, we can make compromises, and we can, just because we feel something in the moment doesn't mean we have to address it in that moment. If we're not feeling that, we can put a compromise and just say, okay, I recognize that I'm feeling this way. In this moment, it's not the right time or place for me to dive into this, but at a later date at this time or whatever, I'm going to tap back into you so that I can process this and find what I need to do to help me heal. So that is also, but if we're not self-aware, if we're not aware of what we're holding, whether it be physically, mentally, emotionally, or energetically, then we don't give ourselves the opportunities to either go in and dive in and see what's there, or just go, okay, yes, I realize that you're affecting me right now and that you're very important, but let's make a compromise. Let's work together. Your subconscious mind's purpose is to give you what you want. So when you can connect with your subconscious mind and you open that self-awareness into that space, into that self-source and soul space, then you can make these little adjustments and these little compromises that help you move through your day more freely, more openly, more calmly. And then, finding different outlets that will work for you, resonate with you, to help you process through what you were feeling, so that those feelings aren't unfelt or pushed down, but they have their time when you're ready to have time to sit with them, to feel with them. Or if you found your support group, that somebody you can work with that will help you move through those feelings, so that you are, if you don't feel like you can on your own time or with your own tools, then finding that person that you trust and resonate with, that you feel like you could dive into those emotions that you are aware are going on for you, or those feelings, and having that person there to support you through that process and guide you through it, so that you have the support that you want and need to create those everlasting changes. So, and why, I think self-awareness is so important is that we get into this place and we live in these lives, and there's a lot going on, and there's lots of stimulation. There's lots of distraction everywhere we go. And so we can get lost in it. I, my own self, can get lost in the day, lost in the weeks and the months, especially with this, with this new routine, driving back and forth from the coast to Vernon and running both practices. And, doing all of that, I have found that I really had to make time to check in with myself, to kind of where I'm at, what I'm feeling, and how I'm feeling. It could be as simple as feeling exhausted and, okay, you know what, for the next 3 nights, I'm going to go to bed a little bit earlier, give myself some more time to sleep and rest. And maybe I don't fall asleep right away, but I take that time to meditate a little bit longer than I normally would during my nighttime routine. So I just started a little bit earlier. And I find that even just that little checking in with myself, if it's sleep, if it's, more meditation time, if it's more exercise, just little things that can help me kind of rebalance myself without having to take that deep dive that I don't always have time to do right away. So those are other things. Okay, so I'm feeling this way. What would help me feel less this way? Again, coming back to that, where's your compromise? What could you do to help yourself feel a little bit less the way you're feeling if you don't want to feel that way? Or in the opposite side of things, if you're feeling a certain way and you want to feel more of it, okay, what could you do every day to support that feeling, to encourage that feeling, to deepen, strengthen, and widen that feeling that you're having, that good feeling that you're creating and living in, that space of abundance, wealth, health, prosperity, being the best, creating the best version of yourself, whatever it is that you are feeling in that moment. What can you do to promote that every day? How can you trigger that positivity or that good feeling? And that, again, that could be the opposite side of, having to deep dive into, go into something so you can release something, heal something, shift something, versus, okay, so now I've got this feeling. How do I maintain it? How do I increase it? How do I encourage it and support it? And then being self-aware of okay, so this is where I feel it. This is how I feel it. So if I dive into my heart chakra every day and I give my heart chakra to really promote that wonderful feeling that I'm feeling right now, that's where I feel it. That's where I understand it to be throughout, and then letting it expand throughout my whole body. Maybe that's something you do, a tool you use to really increase the way you want to feel versus, the opposite. So, being self-aware isn't always a negative thing. Sometimes it's like, yeah, I'm having a great day. Okay, what made today so great? What was that feeling today? Okay, where did I feel that the most? Did that feeling have a color? Did it have a word? Okay, yeah, so I've got all this information. And now how do I encourage and compound and anchor this wonderful feeling into my everyday life? So maybe I, think to myself and kind of promote it within myself and anchor in and compound into my subconscious mind, into my inner mind, inner landscape, that every time I see the color green, I'm going to feel that wealth of grounding, centered, wonderful energies. Every time I say the word fantastic, that it's going to be anchored into that positive feeling. So those are little things. So being self-aware isn't always something, doesn't always mean work in the sense of, okay, now I got to heal this, or now, I got to go through this. Sometimes it's being self-aware of, hey, I'm feeling really good. So let's start promoting this. Let's start supporting this. Let's start working on creating this every day. And then finding little ways to anchor that into your daily routine so that it becomes more your norm versus just once in a while. So, and that is the both, the positive and the negative side to being self-aware, is that sometimes we find things that we need to dive into, whether you want or choose to dive into them in that moment, but you become aware of it. So now it's there and you can make that choice when you're ready. Or maybe it's becoming aware that, hey, I feel really good today. And you hadn't thought about it yet. You hadn't thought about the fact that you're having a great day. Okay, so I'm feeling really good. Where do I feel that in my body? Is there an energy that, that I'm getting a sense, that energy? Is there a word that describes how I'm feeling? Is there a color that I associate with that feeling? And just, kind of giving yourself positive affirmations that every time you see or write or hear or say that word, or every time you see that color, that feeling is going, that really good feeling is going to increase and expand and deepen. So 2 little ways to look at things, and 2 ways to kind of look at the possibility of being a little more self-aware, or practicing self-awareness. Like I said, even if you discover something's there that you're not ready to dive into, it doesn't mean you have to dive into it that moment. Just, taking a moment to acknowledge that, okay, this is how I'm feeling. When I'm ready, when I have the space and I've got the support that I need and feel I need, I will dive into you. And just having that tiny little conversation can really help lessen the intensity. Or on the opposite side, if you decide that you want to feel a certain way, and that when you're feeling that way, how to promote it, how to encourage it, how to support it, how to maintain it, how to increase it. So again, those are just, like I said before, little tools on either way, as you begin your dive into knowing, feeling, and acknowledging yourself a little bit more, and cutting into that self-aware place of, and it could be a minute, it could be all day. I mean, my journeys in my own, kind of tapping into myself, sometimes they are literally 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Nope, totally recognize that that's how I've been feeling. So I'm going to talk to you later. Or some days it's where I go and I just spend the whole day just kind of observing and witnessing what I'm going through. What emotions are coming up for me. I know that especially around the full moons, and I get, I have these different places where it's either really energizing or it's really exhausting. And when I notice that the full moon is really exhausting for me, or I'm getting tired around the full moon, I have to step out and kind of witness and be in that space of awareness of what is creating and what is promoting that feeling of exhaustion. Sometimes it's just literally the energy of the collective that I've tapped into that I need to step away from for a moment and give myself a little bit of breather. Or sometimes it's something coming up that I've been ignoring. And the full moon energy is definitely increasing the intensity of it. And I mean, I haven't always divin into it, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I wait till the full moon passes so that I can dive into it when it's a little less intense, so that it's not such an intense process of healing or releasing and following. But yeah, and sometimes the full moon is really energizing. And then again, I like to capitalize on that. I like to notice what I'm feeling every day as much as I possibly can. And sometimes I forget and I don't tap into myself for a couple of days or a week or two. And then I realize, oh, something triggers that. Like today, this morning, you have to, the silence, driving in silence to understand and feel that, hey, my body was not going to last in the position that I was sitting in and I was going to be in discomfort. So that silence gave me the opportunity to notice that and to recall the last time I sat in that same position that it wasn't so great. So I had some choices to make. And I could have totally chose to stay sitting the way I was sitting because it was comfortable in the moment. But recalling the difference 2 hours later, kind of, swayed my choice a little bit. So, and that's the other thing is as we become more self-aware, we get to make these empowering choices about whether or not we're going to choose to dive into it or not dive into it, whether we're going to choose to support and encourage and maintain how we're feeling, or what it is that we have noticed, or if we're going to make time at a later date to kind of shift and release it. So it just puts you more in the driver's seat. And the more we know, the more we step into our driver's seat, the more I believe and feel that we can really create some amazing changes that helps us become the best versions of ourselves and helps us create the best version of our journey here on Earth. So that is why I chose today's topic. Sticky note done. Yes. And my sticky notes do almost match my wall. That's right, people. Lime green everywhere because it is my anchor color. It is one of the colors that definitely brings me into my happy place. So that's why you guys get to see it all the time. That and the blue that I chose for the background here. So tonight's meditation is just about being aware and getting into your body, getting into your chakras, and just feeling and noticing what you notice and spending time where you feel or sense that you should go. Oh, I love it. Banana green. Yeah, super bright. I know, I love bright colors. I know I wear a lot of black, but my favorite colors are in that neon spectrum. I used to wear, I haven't worn as much neon lately, but I used to. They always made me happy. My car is this beautiful, like bright blue. And I'm not going to lie, I bought that or leased that car because of the color itself. And now it's a really nice car and I'm really lucky to have it, but it was totally the color that drew me in. And I tried to deny it for as long as I could. And then I gave in and I took it for a test drive. I was like, this color just makes me happy. So I'll take it. That's right, people. That's how I decided on the vehicle when I got my eyesight back, was based on color. There's a little insight to Jen. All right. So when you guys are ready and when you're willing, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and find that comfortable position to sit down, to lay down, to be inside or outside, just finding that place where you guys can close your eyes and let your eyes close down. And as your eyes close down, giving yourself permission to put the day on pause. That's right. As you close your eyes down and we begin this journey within, just giving yourself permission till the end of the session to put the day on pause. And as you put the day on pause, let your focus come back to your breathing, come back to your breath. Pausing and breathing, breathing and pausing. With every exhale, beginning to allow yourself to release any and all old energy, any stress or tension or worries or cares that you might feel yourself holding on to. Anywhere in the mind or the body, just giving your mind and your body permission to release any old energies, any old outdated worries, cares, stress, or tension that you might sense or feel yourself holding on to in any capacity, in any form, from any life, past, present, or future. And as you breathe out, shifting and releasing bit by bit, breath by breath, moment by moment. Perhaps beginning to notice that it feels good to release the stress, to let go of the tension, to shed the tightness, letting the worries and the cares dissolve into thin air as you breathe out, just blowing them away. And as you breathe in, setting the intention that you give permission for your mind and body to become calm and comfortable. As you breathe in, giving your permission to your mind and your body to become peaceful and at ease with each and every breath that you breathe. And as your body becomes calm, as your mind becomes peaceful, as you feel that gentle flow of comfort and ease softly, comfortably, gently increase. Notice as you exhale your intention, your stress, your tightness, your worries, your cares are fading a little bit more into the far distance, releasing, letting them go, giving them permission to melt away. So as you're laying there, let your body rest deeper in. Let your head and shoulders sink deeper down. Let your leg muscles become soft and loose. Let the tension flow away from the tips of your toes to the soles of your feet. And as your body tension releases, as you sink deeper in, deeper down into that feeling of calm, that feeling of rest, that feeling of calm and ease, comfort and softness. Notice the surface beneath you. Notice the surface beneath you completely and fully supporting you, so that you can literally let go fully and completely, as little or as much as you want to. As you continue to breathe in that feeling of rest, as you breathe in that calm, as you breathe in that feeling of comfort, as you breathe in that flow of ease, and as you exhale, letting yourself bit by bit, more and more let go and release. And over these next couple of breaths, let your attention move to the soles of your feet and notice what you notice, feel what you feel, sense what you sense in the area in and around the soles of your feet. Perhaps noticing if the muscles in and around your feet are tight or tense or soft and calm. And noticing how you notice this. And when you're ready, letting your focus move a little bit higher into your shins and your calves. Bringing your focus into your lower legs. Notice what you notice, sense what you sense, feel what you feel. Just focusing on the area in and around your lower legs. The energy, the muscles, the structure. How and what do you notice about the area in and around your lower legs? And as you notice this area, making any and all adjustments. so that your lower legs become even more at ease, even more comfortable, even more calm and peaceful. With each and every breath that you breathe in and out. And over these next couple of breaths, allowing your attention to move to your knees. Allow your attention to notice what you notice, sense what you sense, feel what you feel as you focus on in and around your knees, the area of your body in and around your knees. Notice how you notice this space in and around your knees. And making any and all adjustments to help your knees and the space around your knees become more calm and comfortable, more peaceful with each and every breath you breathe. And once again, moving all the way up over these next couple breaths, noticing and focusing in on the area around your upper legs. Notice how you notice your upper legs, muscles, the space in and around your upper legs. Noticing how you notice this, how you sense this, how you feel your upper legs. And when you're ready and willing, making any and all adjustments to help your upper legs feel a little bit calmer, a little more comfortable. Allowing all the muscles to feel a little bit more peaceful with each and every breath that you breathe. And now take a moment to notice how your whole leg feels, both your left leg and your right leg. Now that you've tapped in to the different areas of your legs, notice how you notice this. And if you feel drawn to any particular area or any particular leg to spend a little more time bringing in more comfort and calm into the area of your legs, just go ahead and do that now. Breathing in that calm, comfort, and peacefulness and ease. Breathing out any and all forms of tension or tightness or stress that you may sense or feel yourself drawn to, that you may be holding anywhere in your left leg or your right leg or both. And if you're not drawn to any particular area or any particular leg, just giving your muscles and your legs permission to soften even more. For that feeling of calm and comfort to gently increase. As you continue to exhale with every moment, you are releasing. And as you exhale, you release. And if the legs feel good and at ease, calm and comfortable, let your mind wander, let your focus move to your lower back. Just notice what you notice when you focus on the area in and around your lower back. Do you sense tension, tightness, or stress? Or perhaps sense the muscles beginning to soften, calm, and relax into that comfortable ease and that gentle, increasing feeling of peace. Notice how you notice this, how you sense this, how you feel this, how you see this, or perhaps just how you are aware of it through your sixth sense. As you dive into the area in and around your lower back, noticing what you notice, what you sense, what you feel, what you see, what you know. As you continue to softly, gently, and easily breathe. And perhaps taking a moment to make any adjustments to bring your lower back more comfort and calm. More ease, an ever-increasing feeling and flow of inner peace. And as you make these adjustments, improving that sense and that feeling in your lower back, over these next couple of breaths, let your attention and awareness move to your middle of your back. And notice what you notice as you focus all of your attention into the middle of your back. Notice how you notice this area. Notice what you notice in the area of your middle back. Do you sense more tension and tightness? Or as you focus on that inner area of your middle back, is it becoming calmer and softer, more and more at ease and peaceful? Perfect. And now when you're ready over these next couple of breaths, bring your attention all the way up into the upper back, across your shoulder blades and beyond. And just notice what you notice as you focus on the area of your upper back, shoulders, and shoulder blades, through the tops of your shoulders, and that whole upper back area. Perhaps noticing the level of tension or tightness that you might be holding in your upper back. Or perhaps beginning to sense the ease of comfort and calm flowing into your upper back as you focus on the muscles in and around your upper back, softening, suppling, smoothing, comforting, calming. Notice how you notice this, how you sense, feel, and connect into the area of your upper back. Notice how you become aware of the area in and around your upper back, what you sense, what you notice, what you feel, what you know, what you see. Breathing in that calm, that peace, that comfort into the area in and around your upper back. More and more with every breath you breathe. And now let's go ahead and shift your focus all the way up to the top of your head, the top of your crown area. And notice how you notice this area. Sense what you sense, feel what you feel, see what you see, know what you know, hear what you hear as you focus in and around your crown area. Breathing out any last traces of tightness or tension. Every exhale creating more space for calm and comfort throughout your entire crown, softer, calmer, with every breath you breathe. And notice how you notice the center of your crown. Notice how you sense the muscles in and around your crown area. And now for a moment, I want you to go ahead and allow your focus to wander to anywhere in your upper body that may need some extra attention, some extra focus and calming, comforting, releasing, and letting go. So if you feel drawn to anywhere in your upper body, just focus on that area in a moment, giving the muscles in and around that area permission to be at ease, to release any and all things that you notice that area of your upper body holding on to. Perhaps it's physical, perhaps it's mental, perhaps it's energetic or emotional. But just notice how you notice this area. Notice what you notice in this area of your body. And if you so choose, breathe out anything and everything that you're willing and ready to let go of, that you're willing and ready to release. Or perhaps you're drawn to a space in your upper body that feels good, that feels calm, that feels at ease. Perhaps focusing on that area and encouraging that feeling to gently and softly expand and increase. If you want to expand and increase into every muscle, fiber, cell, every part of you. Just allowing yourself to become aware that you of a part of your upper body where you feel drawn to. And as you become aware of this particular area in your upper body, notice what that area of your upper body needs. And then choosing to release and shift, or to calmly increase. But just notice how you notice this, how you become aware of this, how you sense this. Utilizing your breath as you inhale, increasing how you want to feel, expanding, deepening, and widening that flow and strengthening that feeling. And as you exhale, utilizing your breath to release and let go of anything and everything that you're ready and willing to let go of. So utilizing the power of your breath, focusing your breath on that area of your body, of your upper body that you feel drawn to. knowing that you can use the power of your breath to increase or decrease anything that you sense, notice, and feel. So sitting in that space of your body, utilizing the power of your breath, whether focusing on your inhale to increase, strengthen, and widen that feeling, or focusing on your exhale to decrease, release, and let go of anything that you're feeling from that particular area of your upper body that you have become aware of, that you feel drawn to, that you have chosen to focus on. And taking a couple deep breaths. And as you take those deep breaths, doing an internal scan of your entire self, starting from the top of your crown all the way down to the palms of your hands, down, down, down to the soles of your feet. Noticing what you notice as you do this internal scan, pausing wherever you choose and feel or sense yourself needed to pause, focusing on that area. And as you feel the shift in that area that you may be drawn to anywhere in your physical, mental, emotional, and energetic self, using your inhale to increase a positive feeling and your exhale to release and let go of anything and anything you're ready and willing to let go of. And as you do this internal scan, as you do a 180 and look within, notice how you notice, how you sense, how you feel, where you're drawn to. How is your body communicating with you? Do you know it? Do you see it? Do you feel it? Do you hear it? Take a moment to notice how you knew where you needed to go. And just focusing on that space. Increasing and creating, or exhaling, decreasing and releasing. Whichever you feel is most important to do in this moment is absolutely perfect for you. As you continue to breathe with ease, comfortably, calmly, perfectly. And I'm going to go quiet for a moment as you focus on any and all areas that you are drawn to. And as you take a moment, turn your vision inward and notice how you notice this. As you do that internal scan from the top of your head all the way down, 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 down to the soles of your feet and beyond. And now when you're ready, taking a couple deep breaths. Breathe from the top of your head all the way down to the palms of your hands, calming, resting, releasing. calming, resting, releasing. And now as you take that inhale, go all the way up to the top of your crown and feel your breath move all the way down through your legs, down, down, down to the soles of your feet, calming, resting, releasing any last traces of any and all old energy, any and all old tension or tightness. Breathing in that calm, that feeling of rest, and let it flow into every muscle, every nerve, every fiber, every part of you, into every chakra, from your crown to your third eye to your throat to your heart to your solar plex to your sacral to your root and beyond. Calm and resting. Exhale, release, let go. And take a moment at the end of those big breaths and just notice how you feel overall. Notice how your body is communicating to you. Perhaps beginning to become aware of how your highest self is communicating to you. As we take these moments in time to move through our body, to notice what we notice, to sense how we sense, to see how we see, feel how we feel, we become more in tune and connected to our overall self, to our higher self, to our self source and soul space in every way and every day. So taking a couple deep breaths and giving yourself a moment of celebration and gratitude for connecting with your physical body, with connecting with how you notice, what you notice, sense, what you sense, feel, what you feel, know, what you know, how you connect on that next level of working with your areas of yourself that you feel drawn to, whether it be physically, mentally, emotionally, or energetically, beginning to open up this internal conversation day by day and beyond. And in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. At 5, you'll be fully immersed and fully present, opening your eyes when it feels right, feeling centered and grounded and centered, feeling at ease and calm, rested and comfortable. 1, feel that inner voice, that inner guidance coming forward more clearly and more easily with every day that passes. 2, feel that connection into your inner self getting wider, stronger, and deeper. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically, all in one. 3, feel the bend in your legs and arms. Feel the ease in your breath. Feel it refreshed and restored. 4, your eyes are crystal clear. Your mind is clear. Your energy is clear and grounded and calm and centered. And 5, fully emerged, fully aware, fully alert, fully present. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and feeling amazing and wonderful. Wonderful and amazing and more connected to your overall self. All right, welcome back, everyone. I don't know about you guys, but as I was guiding this, I definitely have some work to do on my lower back because my lower back was like, hello, no, don't go anywhere. Stay here. Hello, no, come back. So thank you for the opportunity to tap in because I hadn't really tapped into my lower back in a long time. And apparently I need to do some stretching. So the message came. And that's sometimes how things will work. As you're, meditating, you may find that your focus is drifting to a certain area of your body, a certain emotion or certain soul energy feeling. And that is kind of how that connection can expand. And, going into that connection is, really allows you to open the conversation up with your overall self, your highest self, your physical self, your emotional, mental self. So, yeah, that's what I felt. So that it was, really interesting because I haven't actually noticed that when I've been guiding meditations that my own body was speaking to me. But apparently asking you guys to give permission meant that my body was like, oh, I can talk now. So I'll be working on that. And I will check in to let you know how that stretching worked and what changed. So I hope that you guys, when you had a great night, I hope that you have a great night. I thank you so much for being here. I will be back on Mondays. Next Monday, same place, but in the mountains, same time, I should say, not same place. But for those of you who want to take a deeper dive in that connection and becoming more self-aware and kind of diving in both into that self-source and soul space and connecting, I do offer group classes. I do have individual one-on-one sessions. So you can check out what I offer on my blendedconnections.com webpage. You can set up your free consult call. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jen Snow. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, Reiki master, soul coach, and this is what I love to do, is help you kind of deep dive into those primary wounds and shadows, those generational wounds and shadows, and release them, resolve them, and move forward, creating the best version of yourself and the best life experience, and just, building that you that creates from a place of being centered and connected and centered. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you have a wonderful evening. For those of you who are in my group class, I will see you tomorrow night. For those of you who watch the Shipwreck Show, I will see you on the Shipwreck Show Friday morning. Woot, woot. And if not, I will see you on Monday next week, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, same place, same area. And I don't know what the topic is, but when I do, you guys will see the link. All right, guys, have a fabulous night, and I will talk to you soon. Much love. Enjoy.